musician.
It's pretty cool. They got the NMC here.
Yes.
That's a feather in our hat, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I think there's less live music venues across the board than there used to be, just because of the nature of our society these days.
Mm-hmm.
There were more places to play when I was young in the
Mm-hmm.
Smalls. Like I was in a metal band called the Smalls for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably aware of that. We played Calgary all the time, and there were a lot more places to play. I think it's kind of a bummer, but I think music is actually. I think the role of music has been shifting in our society. Like I don't think it's as much of a. Like people used to put on a record and listen to it. Like that was the primary activity. They would sit there and listen to the record, and they would get excited when a new artist would release a record because it was full of like guidance on how to navigate current social issues and all kinds of stuff. And now it's kind of like just on in the background on your phone while you're texting or while you're doing other stuff. And it just probably makes me sound like a crusty old person, but I think it's really has changed. I think the role of music has changed. So it's kind of different for people like me now because I have to think about how kids absorb music and try to adapt to it. I think, like I've always been an album guy. Like I've always thought that a 45-minute piece of music every 18 months is a really nice postcard of where your head's at.
Yeah.
But albums are becoming less and less relevant. It seems I still like them and I still operate that way, but that may change. Like a lot of people just release singles all the time now.
Yeah.
I think it cheapens music because I think songs come to life and have more facets and dimensions when they're within a body of larger work.
Yeah, they have a context.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's so everything moves so fast now. I don't even know anymore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I asked my nieces and nephews what I should be doing.
Yes, they're good coaches, I imagine. Eh?
Kinda. They said Pokemon mostly. Festivals are sort of and I think it's in our DNA, right, to have an annual. Whether it's Calgary Stampede for some people, or the Big Valley Jamboree for other people, or the Folk Fest for other people, I think it's a human. It's in our rhythms to have a festival and like a chance to get away from it. And I know that bigger festivals become. It's not even about the bands anymore. It's about because people have family stuff oriented. They all come home in August and all come to the festival or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it's music is. I like to think it's an important part of it, but I think a lot of it has to do with the human need to reconnect every year. So
yeah, so it kind of was part of that rhythm that we have.
I think so.
Kind of, touch base. And
it's funny because we occupy a really weird spot in music because we play full-on country festivals with all the Nashville artists, and then we'll play a full-on folk festival with Afro-Cuban, this, that, and everything else in it. And it's interesting. We're lucky in that we can keep flexible. And we play the odd Dinosaur Rock Fest. Mm-hmm. Like we just played with Sloan 2 nights ago in Saskatchewan. And I think that's one of my proudest things about our career is that we have a very diverse audience, and it seems like we're able to kind of
satisfy them all,
make it work no matter where we are. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty hard to find people that hate old country. Mm-hmm. Like just about everybody likes Merle Haggard. Either they don't know, people either don't know about Merle Haggard or they like him. I know very few people who say Merle Haggard sucks or Waylon Jennings sucks. Mm-hmm. Whereas radio stuff sometimes it's the case. But I think old country is a pretty universal, especially in the West, right? Because even if you're a goth chick or a punk rocker, you've got an uncle who listens to country. It's in your DNA, right? Mm-hmm. So.
Cool.
I think old country has a wide appeal.
Yeah. So what's emerging for you these days? Like what's new and what's kind of the place that you're kind of feeling kind of moving out of your comfort zone? I'm enjoying things that expose me more. I don't mean like expose my career, but make that are more naked in terms of performance. I really like playing solo shows now. And I like, I've done a couple speaking things. The Walrus Talks? Yes.
I did one of those.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was your topic?
Art.
Cool. What did you say? Like, give us like the elevator. The elevator.
There was 8 of us. There were 8 of
Yes?
us speaking.
I think I heard about that. My friend, it was in Calgary?
Yep.
She went to it.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
There were 8 of us, and my angle on it was that it's important to keep in mind that art's important for everybody, not just highbrow people. Because for some reason, I work in a in an art form where people actively deny that it's art, right? Like, people say the ballet is art, and people would say theater's art, and visual arts. Yeah, they go, it's not art.
Yeah.
But it is actually. I mean, and not all of it is, but what I do, I aspire to make art.
Yes.
Like, if the definition of that is expressing yourself, and that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, my thing was, well, half of it was that, to drive home the point that it's not, art's for everyone. And also that I tried to demystify the creative process a little bit. Because people think that you can either play music or you can't, or you can, draw or you can't. But a lot of it, 95% of it's hard work, right? And we make it appear that it's effortless, but it's because we've learned to do it. And so I was trying to explain that just about everybody has. I know this because I get assaulted with it constantly, but just about everyone has an idea for a song,
You get it, right?
or an idea for a movie script, or maybe they're doodling on a piece of paper one day and it actually turns out okay. The only difference between artists and non-artists is that we actively do that over and over until we get better at it.
Yes.
It's not really magic.
Doing it.
Well, it kind of is.
10,000 hours. What is it? Malcolm Gladwell says.
Yeah.
It's something. Like
it is actually kind of magic, but it's not magic that's restricted to artists. Like, we all have those flashes, and artists just go after those over and over and over.
What enabled you, though, to make the choice to keep doing it?
What do you mean?
Well, you could have had an inspiration to sing or to write songs, and you could have, then gone off and done something else. Was it part of your family story?
No, not at all. It was the opposite of my family story. They're all cowboys, and they were completely alienated when I started my rock band. Freaked them right out. So I think it was just a real burning desire to learn to express myself that way and communicate that way.
Okay.
I just always was drawn to songwriters and stuff.
So it was really important for your sense of self-preservation or self-expression.
Yeah, it sounds a little overblown, but I've read quotes about how if there's any other way that you could live your life, you should not be an artist. But if you must, then you must.
Right.
I think that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, so it was a must for you.
I felt that way. Yeah. I always felt like anything else would be a waste of my effort.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having a garage sale in Calgary, and it's kind of a garage sale, but it's a way to clear out my basement of touring odds and ends, like t-shirts that I've had down there for 12 years. Because what happens is you take a bunch of stuff on tour and you end up at the end of the tour with 4 larges and 1 small of this design and 2 mediums and double X of that. You can't take it on the road; it's too complicated.
Yes.
So I've been accumulating it for over a decade. And we did this in Edmonton a couple years ago. It was really fun and successful. We got rid of a lot of stuff in my basement. So, yeah. So August 5th to 7th, we're having it in Ramsey at a friend's place, and I'm going to be there and hang out, chat, maybe pick a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.